How's it going, everybody? This is Kyle Manzolini. A game happened last night. I don't know if you've heard of it, called the Superb Owl, or as some people like to call it, the Super Bowl. It was a thing that happened last night. And I will have to admit that it was, for the most part, pretty underwhelming. From the game itself to the ads. What were these companies doing this year? Most of the big companies shelled out $7 million for what? Just so you could get some big celebrity to try and sell their product? And not in a meaningful way? What? Remember when Super Bowl commercials were exciting? And they took risks, and they did their best to sell you on their brand in a clever way without, I don't know, there were a few exceptions. I say few, but I mean quite literally there were a few exceptions, but some of the most underwhelming ads for the Super Bowl, especially compared to years past. But a miracle happened. You're probably wondering, well, why did you watch the Super Bowl if, one, the game sucked, or two, the ads were disappointing? Well, some ads were not disappointing at all. In fact, the least disappointing of the Super Bowl ads were actually, who guessed, the friggin' movie ads. That's right. Every year during the Super Bowl, the big studios shell out the millions to give you the freshest possible looks of their movies that they got coming out for the year ahead. And there were some really heavy hitters this year. The ads that I'm about to review for you more than made up for the entire rest of the game and the commercial breaks. Of the movies that advertised, there were 11 of them this year. 11 big movies were advertised during the Super Bowl. Well, some were during the pregame and some were during the actual game. And for this, I'll just work my way from release date earliest to latest. So to start things off, and this one quite literally started the movie ads off, we got a pregame ad for Bob Marley, One Love, which is out this week. It was a good ad, but considering the movie is out literally Wednesday, it kind of made sense for it to be like your typical review trailer to try and convince you to see the movie. But I was already going to see Bob Marley anyway, and I plan on seeing it soon. So, yeah. Of the movie ads, the Bob Marley one, while good, wasn't on the level of the rest of the movie ads. The next movie that advertised by release date is Kung Fu Panda 4. Now, the tickets for that dropped on Friday with no fanfare whatsoever, but they decided to save that fanfare for the big game with not one, but 2 ads during the game. Well, one was during the pregame and one actually aired during the game. They were completely different ads, but for the same movie, which is a bold choice, but that's like $14 million for 2 different ads for the same movie. They both were nice, though. One was definitely geared more towards the kids, but the other ad was geared more towards everybody. But yeah, those ads were fun. But that's what you expect from Kung Fu Panda. It's fun. Then the next one, going off of a release date, aired pretty late during the game. I think aired right as they went into overtime. An ad for Monkey Man, which when the trailer for that came out, it completely caught me off guard because I had no idea that was even a thing. I had no idea that movie was coming out. I had no idea that Dev Patel is finally directing, which go him. I am a huge fan of what I've seen him in. And props to Jordan Peele for seeing the potential in that movie by giving it the theatrical release that I feel it deserves based off of the trailer and the ad that I saw last night. They don't give you much. It's mostly just full of the tight, intense action that you would expect. But it still looks like a very cool movie. And I'm definitely down for when that comes out. Because I have a feeling that it's going to be very good and it's going to catch a lot of people off guard. Then they ran a pregame ad for The Fall Guy. Apparently, what I saw was was around a 30-second version. The one they have online is a minute. And I liked that the Fall Guy one wasn't afraid to go completely zany and just gave you just like the perfect idea as to what to expect from that movie. Like you're gonna get lots of fun, lots of action, lots of funny moments, lots of cool moments. And they just had to throw in a Taylor Swift song at the end. Because apparently, if you want to get more butts in seats, just say Taylor Swift, and you're going to get a boat ton of people. But other than that, the ad was great. Then in terms of release date, they just straight up dropped a whole full trailer for a movie I'm very much looking forward to, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I am a huge fan of that last trilogy of Apes movies, and I was cautiously optimistic when they announced that they were developing a new one, but after having seen this particular trailer, it looks like it definitely has the quality of the last 3 movies. And of course, visually, those movies are masterpieces. But on a storytelling front, they're just on another level. And that trailer really hit hard as for what you can expect from that movie, and also in terms of excitement. Like, I definitely cannot wait to see that in a big theater. And then, knee deep in the game, they decided to advertise one of two Ryan Reynolds affairs that you'll be getting this summer. The first was the John Krasinski directed family-friendly If, which stands for Imaginary Friends. And it looks like a very cute movie, but also looks like, in terms of story, it could potentially be something great. And I'm always down for Ryan Reynolds, whatever he's in. And I've really liked John Krasinski as a director, from what he did with the Quiet Place movies, and now to doing something totally different, a family film, which I think he can do. So yeah. And it's a pretty funny joke at the beginning of that ad with Randall Park. Nice callback to The Office. Then before the game, they decided to advertise A Quiet Place Day 1. Dude, if you have not seen that trailer, you should watch that trailer. It looks incredible. Those last two movies were so good. And this one just looks to be like, because this looks like the most expensive one, because you could see the passion that they put into the budget for that movie, and just how intense and nerve-wracking it's gonna be. I like that it's taking a different approach, where this is the first outing that we're not with the small town family. We're leveling up to a big city and taking it back to the first day of the attack. I think is a very interesting approach, because there's still some unanswered questions about how the aliens came and how people had to figure out the you can't make any loud noise barrier or else you'll die. But yeah, y'all should definitely see that trailer if you haven't already. I am very much looking forward to that. And also you got Lupita Nyong'o in there, who was amazing in Us. She's definitely gonna bring her A game in that movie. And also a great supporting cast too in that movie. Then there was an ad for Despicable Me 4, which I'm also very much looking forward to, because I am a huge fan of the Despicable Me movies, more so of 1 and 2 than 3. 3 did have its enjoyable moments, and most of the movie is worth watching, but it's just not up to par with the other two. Despicable Me 4, the full trailer for that, it's looking like that is going to be more in line with 1 and 2, which makes me very happy. But they didn't show any trailer footage during the Super Bowl. They decided to get a little creative, which I like. So essentially, they made fun of artificial intelligence and how it's capable of making the weirdest, ludicrous art that you've ever seen, with things looking way off. and it was I found it to be very clever, funny. And especially because I did hear Illumination is very anti-AI, so it was kind of fun for them to mock it in their ad for the movie. So that one definitely stuck out from the crowd. Then Twisters. They decided to drop the whole trailer for that. Twisters looks like it could be really cool. It's from the director that did Minari, which I recently watched. It was very solid. And I have no nostalgia for the original Twister, but it's looking like it in terms of spectacle. It's definitely going to have a similar feel to the original movie, just with 2 twisters instead of 1. Double the trouble. But in all honesty, like I said, I think it'll be a really cool movie and definitely worthy of the summer blockbuster title. And also nice to see Glenn Powell in another blockbuster, because I thought he was a standout in Top Gun Maverick, so I'm curious as to what he'll bring to the table for this movie. Before I get into the ad that I thought won the night, the movie ad trailer that I thought won the night, I also wanted to briefly mention the most wild card movie ad that they've ever done for a Super Bowl. They decided to advertise the movie adaptation of the musical Wicked, which, if you're not aware, does not come out until Thanksgiving, which is very rare for a Super Bowl commercial. Like, you usually don't advertise your movie during the Super Bowl that far in advance. But they decided to gamble a bit, and a quite interesting gamble at that. What I can say from the footage they showed us for Wicked is that the production design looks incredible. And that's really all I can say. And they really didn't give you much, which is the point. I like a good teaser, but I'll just have to see more from that. But it's got an interesting cast. It's got, like I said, a phenomenal set. But maybe I'll give it a chance. We'll see when it gets closer. Like I said, it's very early. But yeah. So now you're probably wondering, Kyle, you went through most of the movie ads. What was your favorite? Well, that should be of no surprise to you, because my favorite was obviously the very awesome trailer and ad for Deadpool and Wolverine. That trailer was mwah. Was like everything you could ever want from Deadpool joining the MCU for the first time ever. And it was basically just to show you, hey, I know Marvel hasn't really been up to par lately, but we're going to kick things up a notch. We're going to give you Deadpool, and not only are we going to give you Deadpool, but we're also going to give you Wolverine, and we're also going to stay true to the character, and we're also going to go rated R. Like, you can just completely feel the passion in the footage that they showed for that movie. Like, you can tell they had a boat ton of fun making the new Deadpool movie. And just most of the returning cast from the first two movies are back probably for like the opening of the movie. And him getting wrapped up into the TVA is perfect. And just feels really good to be excited for a Marvel movie again. So yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine, that trailer went hard. So yeah, those were my thoughts on all the Super Bowl trailers that dropped last night. If you haven't seen them, I'll sure to link them somewhere, either in the description or on the end card on screen. And yeah, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.